Hey folks, back with ancient cosmology. Let's see. Um, well, I've been studying more this the poverty point region that seems to have these massive zoomorphic effigies. Like this seems to be a bear. That basically this is somewhat of a natural ravine and forested area that's in this shape, but that they made, the ancient people about 4,000 years ago made this ridge around it, and at least that's what it seems to be. I can't imagine that, or I doubt that this is built by modern people just as some kind of drainage ditch or something like that. It looks like it's probably part of the ancient complex there that just isn't known or isn't part of any map. So but like the whole reason that the site is there seems to be because of the shape of the bayou there being like a bear. But there's also another part of the bayou, basically the next part over, is also shaped a bit like a bear. So let's see. Let's see if I can find some of the images of that. Maybe this one. Yeah. So this shows like poverty points, ridges and mounds and everything. And then you see that there's this shape here, which I suspect was also meant to be taken as another iteration of the same figure or some related figure, likely of the same species, basically probably a bear. So, that this seems to be a bear with the bear ears. And I think I took this when I was thinking that this was part of this bear's body. But now I suspect that this bear's body is actually, the whole part back here, and that this is actually this bear's body. And this bear is really like sticking their head up or back or whatever. So, and then there's, the other shapes. They're along the same bayou. There's this shape, which is very similar to that shape, and which is not very far. And then between the two is this lake that's also kind of shaped like a bear. So yeah, here's the lake. And then the lake has its own ancient mounds right above what seems like it could be the head of the bear. Kind of like a Winnie the Pooh nose there, delineated by the bayou like the other bears. But so yeah, this is all in a relatively small area, like within a couple miles, or I don't know. But anyway, so I was poking around in that other one. This is the one that's closest to the poverty point one. And I found what I think may be carved ears, you know, that basically this could be seen as a bear again. And it has these, what seem like they're probably artificial canals in it. Like this line here and probably this line here are probably artificial canals, probably ancient, but maybe modern. And then this is like a house or something, but this may relate to what was thought to have been the eye originally, and then these probably man-made canals in here likely delineate the ear or the ears of this bear. So yeah, that would be like one ear, and then the other ear would either be this side or it would just be seen as kind of behind this ear. I'm guessing it's like these two are both the ears. This is Gobekli Tepe, North America bird, Gobekli bird, pillar 43, holding a scorpion reef there. So, you know, I've done a lot of comparisons of this, but I'm always trying to make one a little better. This is the same thing, you know, just the head, and just the head being New Orleans. So this seems to show that, you know, how accurate it actually was. That while from a distance these kind of look like the eyes just kind of look like some dots or something, on closer inspection one is an indent, the other is an indent surrounded by a circle of, or, you know, some sort of shape. And if you look even closer, they actually match pretty well to what they seem to represent. So this one being Lake Pontchartrain, it's hard to see, but it does have a little bit of this kind of angular shape, like, you know, having like a flat end, and like maybe this would be the flat end on the top, and then it curls under on this side, and then it's kind of diagonal that way, like that. And then this one is shaped a lot like this. This is technically an island because it's not, there's, you know, some little canal or channel between it and the mainland. So that's probably the part right here where it's almost touching the mainland. And then the rest of it, especially the two sides where it has a lot of water, are probably these two sides. And but even the shape of this one seems to kind of match, like maybe this pointy part here is this pointy part, and then this indent right there would be like maybe this indent right there, or maybe it would be over here actually. But anyway, there we go. Zoom in on that. This is from this bear's paw. Like, this bear's paw is recognized as a man-made mound, which is called Sarah's Mound because Sarah's grave is on there. She was like a wife of one of the owners of that plantation, I think, or a daughter or something. And this is another shape in the area, the Poverty Point area, that could be like possibly some sort of animal, like maybe a bird perched on something and with a beak or something like that. Who knows? This again is from Sarah's mount on the bear's paw. This is showing that there does seem to be some sort of line along the bear's ears, or I'm not sure if this is the bigger bear's ears or the smaller bear effigy. Oh yeah, I think it's the bigger bear's ears, because this is the mound that is right next to the one of the bigger bear's ears right here. But this just shows like this whole area seems like it's altered, or it certainly, seems like it could well be. And here again, there's like a line that goes along. This line goes all the way along. So this whole landscape could be very artificial and altered in antiquity. This line goes along there. It's not on any map or anything, and it's not listed as any kind of man-made mound, but these things seem like they could very well be man-made. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense if like, they say Poverty Point was the biggest structure complex in North America for over 2,000 years, like 2,200 years. And so that kind of matches Gobekli Tepe putting its focus on Louisiana as being the head of North America. Because that site there, the mounds, was probably like a major school basically to learn this type of cosmology and other knowledge. So